What's up, guys? So if you're new here, the way I do my messages are a little bit different. I don't edit my videos because everything happens by design. So any mistakes, pauses, hiccups, random events, all of that stuff is energy. It means something. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about old frequencies, right? Where when you're transitioning from an old way of thinking, right? So good examples like a spiritual awakening. When you have a spiritual awakening, usually some type of traumatic event happens. It causes you to think differently, and things aren't really the same after that. Sometimes these events can manifest as a death or just something terrible happening, right? Which, terrible is a definition, right? Because if it brings you closer to your most authentic self, then that's really the thing that matters the most. We come here in this realm and we have a lot of control. However, there are events that happen that are necessary for our spiritual development. And those events send you into a particular frequency so that when you get out of that frequency, you can look back and be like, wow, like I've come a long way. I can see why this thing happened, and you have an appreciation for it, right? Doesn't mean that you don't still have feelings about this particular event, especially with it usually being something that's very traumatic. But your viewpoint, when you get out of that and you start to learn and you start to wake up a little bit more, there's this level of appreciation that you can have for some of the most terrible things that happen, right? It's the meaning that you put behind things in general that's very important and will help you with navigating our little multiverse that we have here. So, as I was saying, the old frequencies, as you're transitioning, there will be little things that test you. So, like, let's say you feel like you're doing really good, like you are going closer to your desires, you're being consistent, you're starting to see results. There are going to be these moments that are completely like out of the blue, seem like they're out of your control, that are going to present themselves to see how are you going to react to this thing. And your reaction is going to tell the universe a lot. It tells the universe, okay, this person looks like they're going this way, but let me see if I do this. Are they continuing on that path, or are they going back to the old way, right? Where they've been for years. It's a I don't want to say self-correcting, but it's almost like you've been somewhere for so long that the universe is like, what are you doing? You're moving out of where you're usually at. And when you're really walking the path, those moments that present themselves, the way that I view it is, how is this serving me, right? Even if I don't initially like it, I'm like, okay, how is this event serving me? Because just like a spiritual awakening, which I'm sure many of you have had, that event seems like it's not great, but then when you get on the other side of it, you're like, you know what? I appreciate that thing. So you can do this on a smaller scale, on a I don't want to say a lesser level, but on a level where it's day-to-day activities, right? What's the meaning that you're going to extract from this? And that helps us as we're moving through everything. I've had events myself in the past, but there was one event in particular that really, gave me quite the shift, quite the push into a different direction, and it hurt, but it was necessary. And I don't think that I would be where I'm at without that particular event that happened to me. So I'm grateful, and thank you for joining me for this short little micro esoteric message. This is the type of stuff that I talk about on my channel all the time in different ways, because everybody learns differently. But I appreciate you guys, and I hope that you have an awesome day.